Well, that's always wonderful. Okay, welcome to my humble little office. My name is R. Keith Andrews. I am a spiritual guide and paranormal adept. The journey continues today on March 4th, 2023 at approximately 4:26 p.m. PST. Now, I've returned to this world for one primary purpose, and that is to remind people that working together, we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. Okay, I bill myself as a spiritual guide because the tools I offer are the same tools that I personally use in my day-to-day life. And the philosophies of life I talk about are the ones I personally live by. Now, before I get into anything, first of all, we have Kimberly coming in with the gold. How you doing, Kimberly? Glad you could join us. Tell you, I just about missed because I thought I had everything set up. So here I am, cutting it real tight again. I do hope your day has gone well. Whoops. Yeah, let's shrink that down because that always works well. So I figure it is time to start moving forward. As soon as I get there, now I've got a couple of things I've got to work out today, preferably while I'm online here, and that's where you guys come in. Okay, putting together a list of topics so that I can actually get things organized. Oh, perfect there, Kimberly. Glad to hear it. You know, they say there's a good book, there's at least one good book in everybody. I'm still waiting to produce mine. But I've got 7 in print. I just don't know if they're good. Let me see here. Do I have anything actually scheduled here? Well, tomorrow's 5th, so that's the easy part. Okay. So I do know tomorrow is on the 5th, is open. Okay. See what my schedule looks like here. Or not my schedule, but 5th. So we've got 6, 7, 8. 6, 7, 8, and then 10, 11. So that's the days I've got to figure out. So when we look at that, okay, and coming in with the silver, I do have to get that so I can read it. Coming in with the silver, we have Hank. How you doing, Hank? Glad you could join us. Let us bring this up and see what we can do here. What I'm doing is actually bringing up the live feed that you guys see, so I actually don't have a problem. Oh, whoa, there we go here. Okay, my apologies there, Hank. And you're Dutch, you think? Oh, from Rotterdam. See, I told you I needed this screen up so I could actually see what the heck I was looking at. Let us see if we do that. There we go. Now I can read it. Now I can see it. Now, just for those of you that are just joining us, and for the rest of you, it's simply a reminder. If you have a question, even if it is not in the topic that we're discussing at the time, if you'd be kind enough to put the question in all caps in the chat room, this is akin to waving your hand to get my attention. It is not called yelling. Not in this chat room. But the reality is I miss half of them if I don't see if they're not in caps. I'll end up overlooking them no matter how much I try. You know, running a little behind schedule, but question for you guys right off the bat. You know, like I said in the thing, what is the next step to your own success? Well, the next step is actually getting off your tail feathers and making something happen. Okay, for me, it's been an interesting day. Okay, had to change a lot of outlooks as far as the people I was dealing with, people I put on pedestals. Not a good move, because I will tell you, it doesn't matter who you are. There is not a single person out there, no matter what their income who they vote for, what their spiritual alignment is. It doesn't matter. Adam, you are in with the bronze. Welcome aboard. Glad you could join us. I know you've been a busy individual lately. The nice part, what do we got? And in with honorable mention, we have Eternity. Ava, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Things are getting off to a real nice start. I was looking at it I was looking at it with Dave's assistance. He and I will be talking tomorrow, I hope. About getting certain things moved in the right direction. But here's the thing. Thank you so much, YJ. Glad you could join us. I am striving to find a way to make things a little bit more interactive, a little bit more intriguing for you guys. With that in mind, I am striving to get topics set up. Now, I know tomorrow is the 5th, so it's an open field. Okay, that's just a cut and dried. We have an open field tomorrow, and then we have the next step in the Yldrbacian Chronicles that I've been reading to you. Oh, yeah, well, things were a little intriguing yesterday. However, I hope your day was going well. I've been looking for a missing person here lately. He's dropped off the map. A lot of people are concerned with him, with his disappearance. But, the reality is, like, I look at the 6th, which is Monday. Okay, what I am looking for, guys, and it really boils down to what topics you guys come up with for the moment. Okay, so do we have a suggestion for a baseline topic for any time this week, as in 6, 7, 8, any day except Thursday? Okay, because Thursday I just plain won't be on. And Hank, that one, you're first out of the gate. We will deal with that tomorrow. Oh, not tomorrow, sorry. We will deal with that on Monday. Okay. Monday is the 6th, so we go to the dark side. Well, and I'm just writing it down here. I'll move it over to the calendar in a bit. Okay. The link between consciousness and the conscious and the subconscious and conscious, and how to forge that. And that, YJ, we will deal with on Wednesday. And again, just marking it down here. That's why I'm looking over on the desk so I can see what I'm writing. Nice part about it is the higher senses are literally being locked in. They come through the subconscious to start with. Avi, we will deal with that. And this is why I'm talking to you guys, because the reality is, with your guys' ideas, we can make this an absolute going concern where you guys can actually learn. And yes, there are ways of developing. Avi, you've asked for how to develop your ability to remote view. It's actually not as hard as you might think. And no, we don't have to have all kinds of extra drugs and what have you. Okay, so what do we got here? Remote viewing development. There we go. By my doing it this way, see, I've got so much on the go. It's sometimes really fun trying to figure out how to, what to do, what to get, and what to put out there, what people are really looking for. Because let's face it, my mind works in a very different fashion from most. And I'll go into that some other day. Okay. Because let's face it, I don't know about you, but I played the guinea pig thing before. But the real key here is how to develop, what it is that will develop your remote viewing. Now, the nice part about it with remote viewing is it can turn around. Okay, you can take that and use that same development to build your clairvoyance, your clairaudience, Okay, now the clairaudience is going to be a little bit tricky to explain, but we'll see what we can do in time. Now here's the funny thing. Okay, I'm going to warn you guys. Some of these tools that you're talking about, it's kind of like opening the bottle and letting the genie out, because we are talking about things that will push your mind beyond the standard. Okay, but and of course, karmic law will be extremely important in all of this. Gotta make sure. Yep. What do we got? Oh, we are going to lose that. That's not going to work. Nice part about it is, I will tell you, there is not an ability out there that you should not work with. There are uses to them. What do we got here? YJ's going, I want to draw a cartoon where a whole group of remote viewers can't find something, and then the housekeeper finds the TV remote in the couch cushions and says, found it. You know, that's just terrible, YJ. However, that being said, I'm going to show you something that's really, really bad. Now, like I said, artwork is not my strong suit. So just so we can deal with this, and this was something I learned from my brother. Just grab a, let's see. Here we go. Now, do understand two major factors. Hey, Chad, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Hey, nice. That's convenient. My remote has a control too. I asked my son, get up and find the remote, please. You lost it again. You should try my cell phone. It'll phone people while I'm on the phone to somebody else. Now, when I said, what's the next step to taking into developing your success? Now, here you go. Here you go, YJ. The first step in drawing a group of remote viewers. Okay. Now, you'll notice, and like I said, I am not an artist. Okay. Sooner or later, I'll argue the point with myself. But, okay. Now, to put artwork into perspective here, what do we got? I have that, unfortunately, is the normal thing. And I will tell you, the quickest trick to success, to your next step in success. Hey, Henry, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Okay, the first thing you got to realize, okay, is right here. This neat little tool here. It says here, I like this one personally. Okay, that's the first thing to get in mind. I am worth it. Every single one of you has this capacity. Okay. Now, that's the first thing you got to look at. Now, the other one is this. You're told, and I'm laying odds most of you have been told this, that seeing is believing. The real key factor to it is that believing is actually seeing. Eris, glad you could join us. Hope your day's been going well. Now, let's take a look at this, YJ, and we're going to go into this in a lot more detail in a couple of days here. I just wrote it down here, so that'll be Wednesday. I should do that so I don't have to keep calculating. That's Monday. What? Tomorrow's Sunday, so we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Okay. Now, I've still got 2 for the week that I haven't set up, but that's good. You're absolutely right, Avi. Okay. Every single one of you. Now, here's the thing with art. Okay, here's the thing with business. Number 1, okay, you start with the basics. Okay, you desire to take the next step on your journey to success. Okay, Lunar, glad you could join us. Yeah, I went out grocery shopping myself this morning. Not a fun job. Don't like the crowds. And rest assured, they weren't that big. There weren't that many. But you've already got an idea of what you desire to do. Okay. And YJ, we're going to do this a little quicker for you. Okay. We're going to get you started so you've got extra things to work with by the time that we get around to the idea. By the time you get around to this idea of that creative side. Okay. Where were we? YJ. Oh, okay. Actually, I think I did that. Oh, that's obvious. Is remote viewing. That's great. And YJ, I forgot to write that down. That will be on Friday, it would seem. Okay. We're going to do something really twisted on Friday. Okay, but we're just going to start today. Now, YJ, you said something about our cartoon where everybody's looking to find this item, and you got a whole pile of remote viewers going, where is it? Where is it? So let's set it this way. Okay, now we have a blank sheet of paper. Now this applies. This is simply showing you one goal. Hey Raven, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Ouch. Luna's going. It was rain. Yeah, it was raining $5. It was raining. Everything $5 and gasoline $4.79. Yeah. Don't you like that's what they call highway robbery. Okay. But we start with a group, so we're going to put a coffee table here. Okay, just because it's a great idea. So, and like I said, this applies to whatever you're building. This is what we call a dream board. So we start off with a little bit of a coffee table. Now, remember that thing I mentioned about I am no artist. Okay, so we have a coffee table. Now, just because we've got one chap that really wants to be he really wants to be relaxed. Okay. So we have here, let's see, what do we got? Put that down there, draw there. And here we have, told you I'm not an artist. Now we have a recliner. Okay. And we do this. We put a chap here. Okay. He's got his legs out. He's got his arms there. And just because we want him to be a little relaxed, you put him relaxing on the recliner. This is a comfortable position, theoretically, for remote viewing. Okay. Now, bear in mind, I am talking about, this would be classified as your dream board there, YJ. Just a thought. Okay. Now, of course, there's all sorts of things we can add to this. And I'm going to hang on to this. And we mark this one. This is for Friday. Okay. Just so I didn't lose it, I just went and did that. Write Friday on it. Now I can find it for Friday. Okay. But take an idea, whatever it is you're looking for, whatever it is you desire to create. Okay. And bear in mind, I will say to co-create. Because everything you're working on. Okay. Hey, Brown Dwarf, glad to see you can make it. When you get an idea in your head, give it physical form. Okay. Just simple physical form. Doesn't matter what it is. Now, in my case, I'm looking at getting this series of books into print. Okay. Now, this is only 1 out of 12 in a saga. Okay, technically it's number 10. Well, literally it's number 10. Okay, so I went through and I've started putting it all together. I'm working on on the next 10 books all combined. The compendium, the journal that goes with it, and 2 other stories that are tied to it. Now, this is all being done at once. The key to the whole 9 yards, okay, is take whatever dream it is. And in this case, I'm going to do it real simple. This is what's called flipping this whole thing around so I don't have to think quite as much. Does anybody out there wish to put a dream of theirs on the table to make it happen? Okay, and we'll pick the first dream that hits the table. We'll start working with that and give you a head start on making yours come true. Now, I can open the doors. I can show you the way to do it. You're going to have to do the work. Okay, because that's just the way reality works. Yeah, Hank says every euro you earn, 49% goes to the government. Okay, Avi. Now, do understand, I personally do not play with the stock market, primarily because computers and I argue all the time. But here's the key. When you're taking a look now, do you desire to get into big stocks or penny stocks? Because there is a big difference in the philosophy behind them. Okay, but we're going to give you the first steps, and bear in mind, like I said, I do this on instinct because I've done some looking into stocks. I don't have the money to play with, and I certainly don't have the technological expertise. I can tell you what's necessary. Okay. Now, learner, I've done that before. Okay. If you're looking at options, a couple of things that you have to look at. Okay. Number one, do understand. I mean, the obvious issue is you buy low and sell high. But here's the kicker that people don't tell you. Okay. When you're looking at options, when you're looking at all of that. Okay. Now you're going to have to do the research into the way the market itself is, how you buy and sell. That one is outside my hands. But here's the thing you look for. You pick up the option whatever it is, and understand the moment you have made a 25% climb at best, okay, even if it is still on the upswing, sell. And the reason for that is because it's easier to sell when your stock is on the upswing, okay, than it is when it starts to come down. So you watch for it. And what I came across, and this applied really heavily to penny stocks, but it's easier to sell while the stock is climbing. Yes, you won't get quite as much of a win on it. Okay. Hank, by the way, thank you so much for that. Hank has just said, pardon my pronunciation, Feyenoord Rotterdam is top of the league right now. Okay. Now, that being said, if they're already at the top, something to keep in mind. Okay. Absolutely look at them. And again, you've got to make the final decisions. I do not look at stocks and go, here's the best one that's going to climb. Okay. But while it's climbing, if you've already made 25%, okay, what I was told is that's where you look at it and go, okay, time to sell it. Because it's on the climb, you've already made a profit. We are talking, when you're looking at stocks, when you're looking at options, you are looking at a long game. You are not looking at a short one. Okay, that's the biggest thing you have to look at. So you sell on the way up. Okay, if you make 25%, sell. You can always buy again. Okay, but you sell when you make the 25%. You pull your money out. By the way, this is the same kind of a concept I use going into the casino. Now, I've only gone into a casino 9 times, 8 of which I came out with more money than I went in with, and the other one I only lost $10. So I'm thinking I'm not doing bad on ratios here. Okay. Remember, now here's the thing. Whatever stock you're looking at, and this is the key, the real key to it. Now let me ask you, Who are we dealing with here? Avi, let me ask you this. In your opinion, and it doesn't matter about anybody else's, in your opinion, do you feel you have some functional empathic capacity? Okay. If the answer is yes, this is where you put it to use. Because the people that talk to you about buying stocks are dead accurate. Take a look at the information that's out there. Okay, but the way it was put to me was this. Look at what is available. What is happening with said company, with said stock. Look at what is happening. And you take a look what the company is up to, what they're telling you. But I was told when I was first looking into it, figure out what the company is going to do next. That is almost unilaterally irrelevant. When you're looking at the write-up on what the company is doing, the key to making money, and this is the one that keeps getting overlooked. Okay. Now, I'll come back to that in just half a second, Hank, because essentially you are correct. When you're looking at what the company is up to, the key is not to figure out what the company is planning on doing. The key is to figure out or to sense what the other investors are likely thinking the company is going to do. Because it's what the other investors think that is going to govern what they do with their stocks. Okay, if they figure it's going to climb, selling is going to happen and you're going to get your stock sold or your option sold in a heartbeat. Okay, if they think it's going to tank, then all of a sudden you're looking at them dropping everything on the market and you having an option of buying low. Okay, so again, you're the one that's going to have to be responsible, but these are some of the key factors that people overlook. Okay, if you try and figure out what the company is going to do, understand what the company does has nothing to do with how the stock works. It's how the buyers, it's how the investors actually interpret things. Now, Hank, you've stated poor people will be poor, happy people will be happy, and I'd rather be happy. I absolutely agree with you. I also heard it put this way one day. I was talking to a multimillionaire one day, and he looks at me and he goes, I've been happy, I've been miserable rich, and I've been miserable poor. He says, hands down, I would rather be miserable rich. Okay. Yeah, Luna says, I watched the S&P because my life partner inherited stock. And, there are a lot of things to look at. Absolutely. The funny thing is, when they tell you anybody can play the stocks, absolutely anybody can. But there are only a select few that will actually make money at it. Now, I just don't take the time to look into it. I may well be able to do reasonably well on the stocks. I do reasonably well in the casino, but I don't like crowds. So needless to say, the casino kind of goes out the window. Okay, but absolutely take a look at how the other investors are going to be responding to whatever you hear, even if it is just a rumor. Okay. Nice, Lunar. Lunar goes, I only took basic economics class, but my last employer was very wealthy. I love the way the one guy put it to me. He says, having a lot of money does not make people happy, but it certainly affords you the ability to look for happiness in a lot more places. Now, I've spent my life living on the edge of poverty. Okay. Of course, that was my own stupidity. Now, when you're looking at, again, the other thing you look at is you take a look at, now here's a neat little key, and this is one that I actually have used. More to the point, I still use. I just need a piece of paper here, which is over here. since I can't do a lot with with camera and what have you, I figured these funny little things, you've seen them all over the place. Okay. That can go there. Okay. Now, here's a bizarre thing. Now, understand, I have myself right now, assuming the estate doesn't come in, I've gone about 5 months worth of finances sitting in my bank. Okay, now here's the neat thing. Now, let me ask you this. In your eyes, if I tell you I've got about 5 months worth of finances sitting in the bank and no income, does this make me wealthy or does this make me poor or just borderline in the middle? In your eyes. And this really applies to how you look at your own life at the same time. Okay. Yeah. And that's very much the case there, Lunar. You know, Lunar's employer turned around and said, you don't become wealthy from writing checks. You cash them. This is true. Okay, money will also not make you a whole lot of money, will not make a lot of income sitting in the bank. But you do have to have the backup there. Okay, now I look at my bank account going, yeah, I've got X amount of months left, assuming my estate, which means relying on somebody else to make the money happen for me. Okay, same as you. If you're sitting waiting for something to happen, I'm telling you, you're making a miscalculation right at get-go. Okay, now what do we got here? Hank. Hank goes, you can't take the riches to the grave. It's different if you've got children. Then you need to take care of them. You know, I do agree with you, and I've got two of my own there, Hank. Although I'll tell you, before I had kids, I told a life insurance broker, he goes, well, don't you care about your kids? I said, well, aren't you going to care about your kids? I said, certainly I will. But frankly, I find that it's much better to deal with them, and this is a personal outlook, much better to deal with them while you're alive. Teach them how to make their money work. Okay, because I'll tell you, if you don't, how else are they going to learn? One of the biggest miscalculations that I ran into from my own parents, okay, is many parents turn around and go, don't talk to your kids about your finances because it gives them too much stress. Well, let me ask you this. Where it comes to success, which would you rather? Leave your kids completely in the dark so they can figure it out after they get out of the house, or start working with them now? Okay. Yeah. Hank is going, I live paycheck to paycheck. I'm 40, still going my own way. I don't care about money. Now, I will tell you, Hank, I made that miscalculation. I'm quite seriously. I'm 59. And by not looking ahead, ran into an interesting little problem. Okay. Now, here is one of the biggest kicker in the world where it comes to success. Okay. And I kid you not, take this and put it on your fridge. Now, I've already shown you the I am worth it sign. Here's the other one. Okay. And take this and literally write it on a sheet of paper. Put it on your fridge. Hank, that is absolutely fantastic. You're 1 in a million, maybe 1 in a billion. Okay. You write this down and put this on your fridge. Okay. Oh, that's good. Pardon the English, and apparently is not going to work for me today. Take this neat little sign. I am wealthy. This is a mindset. This is not a financial recommendation. Okay. What have we got here? I'll tell you, Hank, you're doing a job I could never do. I didn't have depth perception to be able to gauge what's at the other end of that crane. I mean, I tried playing golf one day, and let's face it, you're only looking at a 3-foot club. Took me 5 strokes to tee off. Don't put me handling a crane. This is a bad idea. Okay. You know, the neat little part about this is once you see yourself as being wealthy, the finances or the spiritual side of it, whatever it is that you identify as indicating you're wealthy, this is the doorway. Okay. Get that written tonight. Okay. Now, you can do what you will. This is simply an option that I personally put to use. Okay, and again, this is why I say when I'm looking at success, now I told you what my finances are looking like. What I didn't tell you is in spite of that, okay, I look at my finances, I look at my whole state of living. Number one, I know exactly who I am. I know what I'm looking for. Okay. Now, I am not entirely certain, in all fairness, Lunar, I am not certain what MIL means. Okay. Yeah, and you are right, Hank. Everybody can learn, you can learn anything, things. Now, where it comes to computers, I'm not debating that you can learn them. But I will tell you, I have struggled with them since 1979. They still don't do what I desire them to do. Thank you, Learner. The trick to get into becoming wealthy is to realize first and foremost, wealth is a mindset. It is not a pocketbook number. But I believe it was you, Hank, that made the comment that that you cannot take money with you. This has been tried for thousands of years. I mean, a prime example of that, look at the Egyptian pharaohs. They figured they were better than everybody. They had all the money, they had all the wealth, and they were taking it with them. Brilliant idea. As we can tell by digging around in the pyramids, didn't work out the way they were thinking because they're gone and the money's still here. Ultimately, yes. And, Avi, there is a video I did quite some time ago, about a year ago, maybe a year and a half. Okay, if you look in my videos, look under the under the subtitle of language, can't. I did a complete video on that particular word. I do recommend you look back for it and have it listen. It'll explain why I see the word can't as one of the greatest excuses for failure, because people don't fail. They don't fail if they try, if they make the effort. You're not going to fail. You may not succeed the first run, but as long as you don't walk away, it's not technically, at least not in my eyes, it's not technically a failure. Okay, you fail when you give up, because you fail to put effort in, or you just don't do it. I run into an interesting snag there, and it brings to mind a whole lot of things. Hank has just stated that the cabal is still running things. Now, I get a kick out of it. Let me ask you this. Okay, let's take a look at the cabal for a minute, or how about if we make it a little smaller? Okay, take a look at any city in existence. Okay, and we'll just pick a city of 100,000 people, anywhere in the world. Okay, doesn't matter where. Okay, you take any city in the world with 100,000 people, and what do you figure of that 100,000? How many people do you figure actually work directly for the government? Okay, or if you take a look at the cabal, how many people do you figure are actually in the driver's seat of the cabal? Because we can look at this either city, which is a lot smaller ratio, or we can look at the cabal, which is an extremely tiny number of people comparatively. Because let's remember, from my research, you take a city of 100,000 people, and you're looking at maybe 5,000 work directly for the government. And in most, there is a city council. So you got 10, 12 people sitting in the council, running the city theoretically. But you're looking at a dozen people. Now, this was said really well in A Bug's Life. Yeah, I'm just looking here. Hank says, in the Netherlands, we say it can't rise under 6 feet. Ultimately, yes. But if you look at any city with 100,000 people, you got maybe a dozen people at the head of the table, working in City Hall. Now, in The Bug's Life, they put it this way. On their own, one ant won't make a difference. It really does make much. But when all of the ants figure out, hey, we actually have value, and if we start communicating, we start talking to each other, there is virtually nothing that we cannot turn around. Now, before anybody gets any brilliant ideas here, too late, somebody came up with it already. Overthrowing governments, overthrowing a corporation isn't necessarily a good idea. The governmental systems that are in place, the educational systems, the spiritual systems, the systems themselves are designed well. Run poorly in most cases, but they are designed properly. So when you look at it, and let's assume for half a moment that I'm dead wrong, the cabal runs everything, the elites run everything that the cabal doesn't, or they're under control with them by the cabal. Point the finger anywhere you desire. And let's say the cabal does run everything, and you desire to have breakfast. You've got your bread and what have you at home, and you're going, I desire breakfast, and I desire to have, I've got a choice between bread or cereal. Or maybe I've even got the choice of eggs. You're going to make the decision whether to wait for somebody to tell you what to do, or working within the confines of the social system you're in, make things happen. And I will tell you, making this adjustment to your mindset is phenomenally beneficial. As soon as I figured this one out, I went, yeah, I could worry about my finances. I could worry about the next 10 years of my life. I figure I've been dead, 9 times confirmed anyway, so what the heck? What's another one? But when you get your mind sorted around, when you get your mind sorted around to see yourself as already being wealthy, this does not mean being perfect. But I am wealthy. If you're looking, and this applies to just about anything, this is a very small version of a dream board. And it's not a question like people talk about this being just an affirmation. No, this isn't an affirmation in all fairness. This is a starting point. Now, absolutely, the reality of it is, I look at this and go, I am wealthy. Now, clearly, I've told you what my finances look like. Clearly, this is not indicating what my money looks like. However, I will tell you this. The second I start seeing myself that way and going, yeah, I'm not perfect. Absolutely not. I have been told I'm outspoken, I'm pig-headed, you name it. I've been called a lot of things. Some of them are repeatable in polite company. But for you to become successful, in your case, YJ, you mentioned the cartoon, Now, here's the funny thing, and I'm just curious whether you did. You mentioned drawing this cartoon. There's your starting point. Have you put that down on paper yet? Because it gives you a starting point that you can work from. Now, this can be grown in any way you desire. Okay. In my case, I looked and went, okay, I finally figured out at 55 years old. So I got a couple of years on a few of you. At 55 years old, I went, I am going to write this complete 12-volume saga. Okay. Now, where is it here? I think it's right here. Or is it that one? Nope, that's not the one. Got a whole pile of different odds and ends I've been working with. What, pray tell, did I do with it? Always like when I do that. Yeah, if I seem a little scattered when I'm looking for something, it's only because I am. Oh, that was that list. Don't really need that one. These are all receipts I gotta go through tonight, which gives you an idea what my day's been looking like. You know I have that. Had it again, and again it went missing. You know, that's the fun thing about life in my office. Things go all over the place in a real hurry. Okay, now, you take a look at what you're aiming for personally, and that's where we start your success. Where you are standing right this moment, your next step is move everything out of the way that is not contributing to what you consider success. Okay. You know, that's the real key factor from that end. Where are we? Yeah, pretty much. To me, that, you know, the funny thing is there, Lunar, in my house, and I've had this confirmed by so many people coming into my place, it's absolutely insane. You know, where something will literally go missing and show up in a place there's no way it could get to. Okay, at least not from standard run, and from standard issue anyway. Okay, but you start off whatever your project is. Now, what's this? I think I know where it ended up. No, where it should have ended up anyway. Go in here and we go under I. Told you. Sometimes I do something really ridiculous. Actually file things where they belong. Now, I started off about 20 when I was 55 years old. So 4 years ago, I went, it's time, I've got to get this sorted around. And I put my first book in publication, first solidly in publication. This little novel here. Okay, The Birth of the Wolf Pack. When it was first printed in 2019. Since getting that one printed, and I knew by the time I got that one done, I knew I was working on 12 volumes. But here's the thing. 10, 11, 12. I went in a period of 4, I decided I was going to focus my energy on becoming a self-supporting author. Okay, I went from one book I was writing to now I have 36 in queue. Okay, many of them tied together. Now, that said, okay, as I go along, it's cost me a fortune to figure out that paying somebody else to do my work doesn't work that well. Yeah, I've had that happen. I used to do it this way. hanging on to my glasses. Now, bear in mind, in 2007, if I had my glasses right there, I could not see them. Period. I just couldn't. So I'd be going, where are my glasses? I'm looking for my glasses. Where are they? Now they're right here. I forgot all about them. Okay. But no, I'm referring to an interesting situation specifically. Okay. Where I hung my belt pouch on the inside of the door of the apartment door. Okay, I was just coming in to use the washroom before heading out again. Went in, used the washroom, came out. I had a buddy with me, and the pouch went missing. We found it an hour later in a sealed box underneath the middle of my bed. The box had not been even touched in 6 months. Okay, this is what I mean. It shows up in really weird places. Yeah, and Hank is going, facta non verba. That's Latin for deeds speak louder than words. Absolutely true. You can talk about whatever you desire to do. You can talk about it until the cows come home. Okay, or after they come home for that matter. Until you get off your tail feathers and do something with it, it's not going to happen. Hey, Carl, glad you could join us. So in 2019, this came into print. In 2021, its sequel came into print. Okay. And it'll be sometime this year. I was supposed to have it out last year, but long story short, the third one of those novels will come into print later this year. Okay. Absolutely there, Avi. Now, the key to success, and this applies to every single person out there, doesn't matter who you are. You'll notice I'm pretty non-prejudiced when it comes to that. Okay. Whoever you are, success boils down to belief plus focused effort. Okay. Whether you believe you can do something or you believe you can't, the odds are you're going to prove yourself correct. Although I will tell you, there are certain things, I don't care how much you believe, may not be a wise idea to do it. Okay. Like believing you can fly is great, but try it from a standing start. Don't try it from a balcony. Okay, because the odds of you having that kind of belief, because you got to remember, belief boils down to, because reality itself is a matter of co-creation. Not only do you have to overcome your own doubts, but you have to overcome the energy of the doubts of everybody around you. Okay. And for that matter, everybody that isn't around you. But when you put the effort into something, and yes, this is one of the books I'm in the process of writing. Okay. And when I'm talking about them being in the process, if you stay with me over the course of the next couple of years here, you'll find the books coming out as they go along. Okay. Now, I will tell you, every one of the books that I show here, okay, and let's get this up because there's a number of you that are going to show up here sooner or later with a little bit of luck. Pull that up. And if you're looking for information on the books I've already got written, okay, this is the website. This is the website that gives them a breakdown of them. Okay, and that's rkeithandrews.com. Okay, that will give you a breakdown. Now, some of them are already set up with a hotkey to order. Okay, if not, okay, I do take PayPal. Okay, and this is the email address used to get to my PayPal. Okay, and that I am not dealing with right now. There are some calls I'll take. That ain't one of them. Where are we here? We go copy, and hopefully that was right. This is the email. The email that accesses my PayPal, if you're striving to order any one of the books that are listed. Now, I've got all of them in stock right now. Well, I did that wrong. That's not an email address. Take that, and we go. That was my email. It was the website again. Let's try the email address again and see if that works. There we go. innervoiceenterprises@yahoo.ca. That is what accesses my PayPal. Okay. If you're in Canada, that same email address will handle direct payment to my bank. Okay. Now, that being said, okay, all of those, every book that I show you here are ones that I've got currently in stock. Okay, so that's the way that works. What do we got here? Whoop, I need to shrink that down. I don't, I tried playing the lotto, but, I didn't try. I played the lotto. Absolutely not a plug nickel. I mean, I might have got $1 here and there. But I'll tell you, I made way more money when I finally started putting money aside and going, this is what I'm putting in the bank. This is what I'm not spending. And there's a whole pile of things you can do with that. Okay. I'm just going to, Chad is in the room. I know this for a certainty, or at least he was. So I've got a lot of these floating around. But this is Chad's YouTube channel. Okay. And absolutely, take a look at it. If you agree with what he says, give him a thumbs up. Okay. If you like his channel, give him a thumbs up and do subscribe to the channel. For that matter, if you like what's coming on this stream, I'd really appreciate a thumbs up here as well. And again, subscribe to the channel and remember to hit that alert button to let you know when I'm coming on. I'm usually on Monday. I'm usually on 6 days a week. I don't come on Thursday. That's my gaming night, so I'm not coming on. Okay, so that's the way that goes. But you take a look at that. What do I got going on here? Okay, so I mean, when we take a look at making your own life successful, talk to anybody that's done it successfully. Now, if you desire to know how to waste money, talk to me. I got really, really good at it. Okay, throwing money out the window that I never should have. Knowing better and doing it anyway. Let's believe that person's being honest. The sad reality of it is, guys, the number of times that I've listened to a major corporation that has said, I'm doing, this is what I'm doing. Okay, the number of people that have said, I'll help you with marketing and I'll put this book out. One company I used to work with, okay, they had my contract for 5 years. They sold 4 books. That was it in 5 years, a professional company. I went, no, I'm done. Fired them, started doing my own marketing, starting to figure it out. Okay, sold 4 books in a week and a half. I'm not sure. Maybe I used the wrong way of looking at things. Hank is just saying I played €50 a month. Can't read that. Of course, this is what I was referring to. Different lottos. I don't blame you there at all. Now, I'm presuming, and correct me if I'm wrong here, Hank, I'm presuming for a reference point, €50 is kind of along the same lines over in Canada here as $50 a month. Okay. Luna goes, I used to sell tickets at the grocery store. Yeah, and I tell you, they are a great cash cow. Somebody's making money. And I knew of one couple that actually made a $10 million win. The sad part is that when you make money that fast, in their case, it took an absolutely what appeared to be a rock solid marriage. They won $10 million. And virtually overnight, as in within a week, they had separated and were heading for divorce. Okay. The funny part about it is gambling can make money, but I will tell you, if you're making money gambling, the gambling establishments aren't going to be happy with you. Personally, I don't gamble. Have I been in a casino? Yeah, usually to kill a couple hours. But there is a key to making money that way. Like I said, I've gone to a casino 9 times in my life. 8 times I came out with more money than I went in with. Not a staggering amount more, but more. Okay. And it's a simple logic approach. No, I don't count cards. I can't remember what I had for breakfast half the time. And Lord knows I keep losing my coffee cup, so that's a problem. But if you desire to be successful, yeah, Luna goes, we have casino gaming now again. Well, casino gaming can work. But they really, yeah, that's a fine thing, Hank. You start your own gambling room, your own casino. Whoever set the casino up, if they do it right, can make an absolute killing. Now, I figured out an algorithm one day, and I am using it. Okay, where it comes to advertising, where it comes to paying word of mouth advertising. Okay, I did figure out how to do that. The problem is I haven't sold enough books to make it really happen. Really put it to use as well as I'd like. I'm a firm believer. Okay, I am a firm believer that when you share with other people, I don't mean give your money away. This is absolutely not what I'm referring to. Like Jay goes, I go to a casino once every decade or so. I only bring 20. Whenever I reach 40, I stick 20 in my back pocket and never play to lose that 20 in my float. That is literally how you make money in a casino, YJ. That way you've got 20 bucks. Okay. You go in with 20. As soon as you've got it, you pocket it. There's a more intricate way to do it, but you put that in your pocket. You lose the 20 float in the 20 that you've won. You're still breaking even. From my standpoint, it boils down to this. Okay. You will become wealthy, number one, when you see yourself as wealthy. Hank, let me put it this way. I think you said you were in Norway, I think. Like, I've got good memories, just really short, it would seem. If the reality is, I had a guy from Brazil come here, and he did the same thing. He goes, sorry for bad English, right? I looked at him and I says, you think your English is bad? Try my Portuguese. Okay. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Now, there was somebody that came up with an absolutely brilliant idea. No, I shouldn't do that. I was going to tell you what somebody used to say about charging a cell phone fast. There are theoretically ways to do it, but I'm telling you, they're all absolutely bizarre. If you're trying to charge your phone, sometimes you got to replace the thing, buy a different adapter, whatever. Okay, somebody came out with a brilliant idea. Talk about dense. Okay, the guy puts a post up. You want to charge your phone in a hurry. Put your phone in the microwave. And I'm thinking this is not going to work as well as you might think. But unfortunately, some people do that. The casino used to say, where the winners come to play trademark. Oh, thank you, Hank. I do apologize. I'd apologize more for my memory, but I know it's a nanosecond long. But when you desire, like in my eyes, in my case, for instance, okay, I already am wealthy, not money-wise. But I'll tell you, I have never felt so welcome in an area as I do in this chat room with the support I get from you guys. The support I get, the ideas I get, the whole catch to it. Hey world, how we doing? And that's my cue to find this. Pop that back up. I used to have 4 screens, so I'd have everything up and running at the same time. And World has just entered the room. And so what we do is we grab that, shrink that. This is World's YouTube channel. So go give it a try. No, you misunderstand. Can't deal with him right now. I will phone that afterwards as well. Man, it's an interesting situation. Well, very interesting situation. I'm getting more phone calls right now than I get for my entire day. Kind of an interesting setup when you think about it. You know. Oh, excellent, YJ. You know, I've heard some really ridiculous ideas on how to make things work. Where it comes to your success, pick a goal, whatever it is. Okay. Talk to people that have done it successfully while sticking to karmic law. Now, I will tell you, I know people that have gotten really far ahead by ripping everybody around them off. I never recommend that. It's got way too many backlashes. Okay, but for me, it boiled down to realizing that, first of all, I am worth it. Then realizing that this is already in my hand. Okay, and like I said, this boils down to a dream board. That's cute, Hank. Yo, hey Shadow, how you doing? You're always busy. And that's actually a good thing. It's like I tell my other half, if I ever figure out how to do only one thing at a time, let me know. And this is Shadow. Where are we? Shadow and Sun. And again, this is an excellent channel to watch, especially if you like figurines and the little artwork like that. Okay, he and his son have some great products that they work on. Check them out if you like what the channel says. Give them a thumbs up and absolutely do subscribe to the channel. Okay, now once you figure out that you're already wealthy, like you cannot measure wealth effectively in monetary terms. Okay, it just doesn't happen that way. Okay, what does happen is when you see yourself as being worth it, as being wealthy, as being healthy, okay, and you start removing the things that are stopping you, that are hindering your feeling of that, okay, that's when things start to turn for you. Now, let's minimize that because I can't see a thing without it. I absolutely agree with you there. Shadow's just going, we do lots of things, including gaming, painting, and preparedness videos. By the way, in case you hadn't noticed, Hank, I don't speak English well either. Not when I'm talking. Hey, Bigfoot, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Where are we here? Go back down here. And we grab this one, and this is Bigfoot, Michigan Rob. Again, another one of these sites. And guys, if you have a YouTube channel or any other channel for that matter, okay, if you get it to me, and there's a lot of ways of getting a hold of me under this video. Okay, if you get it to me, I will add it to my list of available ones to let people know. Because the reality is that it is by working together that we can make this a better world for virtually everybody. Okay, but it is going to take effort. Uh-oh. Yeah, Luna goes, diorama repurpose. Dumpster dive score, yeah. I'm just worried if I try dumpster diving, I'll end up upside down in the dumpster and unable to get out. So I'm not looking forward to that kind of idea. The nice thing about your life, you desire to get your life running in the right direction. Yeah, world goes, free is the best price. Plus, I'm upcycling and turning trash into treasure. Absolutely. Now, myself, I just take ideas and work with them. Okay, which is why I've got, why I've got so many different books on the go, that I'm in the process of writing. Now, someday I may get around to actually reading. I'm not holding my breath. I'm an English major, but I'm probably one of the worst read English majors available. Where it comes to whatever your goal is, okay, whatever that goal is, when you're looking at something, okay, when you're looking at whatever, okay, anything that does not work towards that goal, redirect the energy around it, okay, or repurpose the energy, as it were, to make that happen. See, when I started writing these, okay, I got the novel into print, and then I started getting a whole pile of requests for this little book. Okay, now this book, Races of the Worlds, some of you already have. Okay, I've been working on the second printing of it and a second volume. The second printing, I've only got 10 pictures left to get completed. They should be done within the month. Okay, but I'm in the process of editing and enhancing this. Now, this particular book is 64 pages, I think. Okay, I look at the back of it here. This particular book, yeah, this one is 64. I've only re-edited or enhanced 1/3 of this book, and it's already at 84 pages. Okay, once I included the extra information and the pictures. Okay, so absolutely, that's coming out in the very near future. That's one of 4 that I'm aiming at having done before the end of the year. But the thing is, the races that you run into in here, now this is science fiction, science fantasy. Okay, the races in there, you get to see how they interact with each other and other races. This book is a reference manual telling you cultures, appearances. It's got the pictures as to what these different races look like. But it was an accident because it was the guys in Spaced Out Radio that encouraged me to put this together. Okay, it wasn't until after I wrote it that it suddenly dawned on me that the races in here work as a compendium to this set of novels. Okay, and again, they're all available, directly through me. I'm working on other venues. Okay, but if you've got, what do we got here? Nothing wrong with it. And Abby's going, orange juice and beer is called a Bigfoot. And I'm thinking, I like orange juice, not overly impressed with beer. Personally, I used to like beer and usually beer and rye whiskey. Not necessarily a brilliant idea, but hey, I was drinking like a fish at that point. Now, I always got curious about that. You're drinking like a fish. How does a drink fish? And, how does the fish drink? One finger up? I'm not sure how that works. But, when you take a look at things, okay, whatever you're working on, whatever your goal is, YJ, you've got a comic you'd like to write, like a cartoon picture you'd like to do, or a comic story you'd like to do. Get it started tonight. You've got the tools. Okay. Avi, you're looking at getting better at stock trading. Working on options. Start talking to people that have done so successfully. But remember, you only work with cash that you can afford to absolutely lose. Okay. Now, Here's the neat part. We'll deal with the now. Obviously, this guy here, that's human. Well, let's take this one. Okay. This is, people keep asking me, why don't these off-worlders show themselves? Now, you guys, if you've listened to me at all, you've heard me talk about Strazazians. Well, here is your human right here. Okay, this guy here is an artist, is the artist drawing of a Strazazian. Now, picture the size of him comparatively, and look at the size of the Macy's packing. Okay, when we take a look at the Strazazians, they are a reptilian. They come from a high-density planet, which means their bone structure is phenomenal. Okay. Hey, nice, Adam. Glad you're making a safe run of it. You know, the Strazazians are born understanding honor right from the get-go, right out of the egg. Okay, they are actually allies of humans. Okay, and yes, that I know of for a certainty. Now, can I prove it? Obviously not. We're talking government. We're talking military. Okay, but in my heart, do I know for certain that Strazazians, these reptilians I just showed you, okay, are in contact with at least the Canadian and American military, or Canadian American governments. Okay, as allies, they are not here from a conquering standpoint. Okay, are they carnivores? Absolutely. Okay, not only are they carnivores, they're cannibalistic and carrion eaters. These guys are, they will eat their enemy or their family member if he drops dead without poison. Okay, what do we got here? For a minute there, Carl, I read that. Hey, the Sasquatch dudes are here. I'm thinking, now I've seen pictures of both. I think I've seen pictures of both both Duke and Rob. And I don't think either one of them has that much hair. But, it's rather an interesting setup. What do we got? Not a manly drink, but I love. What, pray tell, is apple tinny there, Hank? See, I used to drink vodka quite nicely. I will tell you, vodka and apple juice is deadly because you can't tell you taste the vodka. But when we're looking at the Strazazians, we are talking about guys that come from a high-density planet. They live on a planet. They grow their own armor, as in their scales are solid. And the reason I say they grow it, obviously, is because they do. But if you get caught in a sandstorm on Earth, it'll blind people. It'll make it impossible to keep your orientation right, the whole 9 yards. On the Strazazian homeworld, you get caught in a sandstorm there, and it will shred a human to the bone in a matter of minutes. Okay, faster than a swarm, than a school of piranha. Okay, so I mean, this is why when people talk about let's just beat the aliens off our planet, we'll chase them away because we're that tough. Understand something about the main battleship of the consortium. Okay, very, very big little problem. Okay, their main battleship, their main gun. Take the HMS Titanic. The one that sank in the Atlantic there. Take that ship, turn it broadside, shove it into the barrel of their main battleship, of their main gun, and you still got room to maneuver. Now, there is nothing on Earth that will deflect that kind of firepower. What do we got here? Luna's going vodka and green apple mixer. Yeah, you'll never taste the vodka. Okay, but I tell you, you have a couple, 3 of those, you're not going to walk straight either, in all likelihood. Now I'm going to go sideways on myself here for half a second there, Hank. Was there a particular race that you were curious about? Okay. I figure you're the one that brought it up, so I might just as well ask you. Well, yeah, but Hank, that's the one way I like watermelon. You pour a bottle of vodka into the watermelon, and it's great. You drink the thing out, you don't worry about anything except trying to walk. That might be a problem. But no, when you're looking at success, okay, I mean, there's one in one of the books I'm in the middle of writing. Where are we here? Yeah, we could go down that road really quick. I spent a long time, literally, as an alcoholic. You named it, I drank it. And you didn't tell me what it was, I drink that too. Now, now again, when I'm talking about success, I'm not talking about just for humans. These tools apply to everybody else as well. Well, I'll put it to you this way, Avi. The Orions weren't the ones that built the pyramids. Okay, but they do have pyramids on their planet. Okay, funny part about it, so does Mars. The pyramids came along. Now, don't get me wrong. Before anybody comes up with it, okay. Now, the Seven Sisters, I believe, that is another name for the Big Dipper. Now, here's the thing, okay, and that would be Cygnus. It's something we have to make certain we're clear on. I am not an astronomer. Okay, in other words, do I know what all the different planets out there are called? No. But I'm trying to remember I think the Seven Sisters refers to the Big Dipper. Okay, which is where a lot of the Terran tropes come from. Okay. That is not a shock. I'm looking for where they're going to and who is it now. I wonder if I've got that up. Here we are. The Alpha Centaurans, their ship is a three-sided pyramid. Okay, or looks like a three-sided pyramid. And by the way, the three-sideds are far more energetically powerful than the four-sided ones. Where are we? Oh, okay. I think let me just take a look at that. Minimize that. And okay. Oh, okay. That's not a problem, Hank. You're referring to the Pleiadians. Okay. Now, Pleiadians are, number one, absolutely neutral. They are healers. Okay. Now, you'll never find a Pleiadian on Earth. You'll never find a purebred Pleiadian on Earth because they will die because of the atmosphere. Okay. So Pleiadians they are consummate healers, very, very non-judgmental. Okay, if you're wounded, if your planet or your people are ill, they will help if it's at all possible. But mankind screwed things up because they did approach mankind with certain healing techniques. And then mankind decided, oh, we can't release those to the public because we can't make money if we do that. Okay. Now, I'm not blaming the government so much as the individuals working in it. Okay. And I'm not talking about the ones working in it today. I'm referring to the ones working in it when the Pleiadians approached them. Okay, the off-worlders are simply put, on the whole, not here to cause a problem. Okay, but the Pleiadians are natural healers. Now, you may have seen a Pleiadian hybrid on Earth. They do breathe air. They are capable of surviving in Earth's atmosphere. But the thing you got to remember, first and foremost, now I forget what the name of the stuff is, but there is a silver oxide or something to that effect that people take in the way of health, that humans take, that turns human skin blue. Okay, a Pleiadian hybrid has bluish tinged skin, but the big difference with them and these people that are taking the silver iodide or whatever it is, okay, is the Pleiadian hybrid pigmentation changes shape at their will. If you shake their hand, the pigmentation in their hand will shift, much like an oil, much like the oil and the bubble oil little things we used to get in the 80s. Okay, the little stickers that are full of colored oil. You shake a Pleiadian hybrid's hand, and their pigmentation on their hand where you contact it will change. Okay, but they refer to themselves, and with those people, they refer to themselves as shifters because they consciously control the layout of their pigmentation and thereby can change the color of their skin at will. This makes it really fun trying to spot them. YJ is just saying, in our lifetime, it's entirely possible we will see the furthest right star, Betelgeuse, in Orion's belt go supernova. It is possible. I will tell you, though, if it's going to go supernova in that point in that time, it'll go supernova. It's already gone, and we're just waiting for it. Okay. The nice part about it is when a star goes supernova, it's far enough from here when the shockwave won't get to mankind, aside from in the way of a flash. The neat part about it from my stand. Oh, I did not hit send. World, my apologies. There is World's YouTube channel. Okay. I unfortunately forgot to hit send. I do that a lot. When we are looking at your success, though, take a look at what you're driving for. Now, I was looking, there we are. And, I cannot tell you how happy this makes me. I was talking to Dave just yesterday. Turns out that when the pay point from YouTube is apparently when I've got 1,000 subscribers, and this applies to anybody. When you get 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 viewing hours on the videos. Now, thanks to you guys, I'm sitting right now at 472 subscribers, and as of this morning, 5,800 hours. Okay, 5,800 hours out of a required 4,000. So when I hit 1,000, that's when it looks like I'll start making at least a little bit of income off of YouTube. In the meantime, I'm looking to push three major issues. Okay. One is, for me, it boils down to becoming independent. When I talk about independently wealthy, I don't mean a multi-billionaire, although I'm not going to turn it down. Okay. But the way to getting your life back on track, take whatever you're working on, whatever goal you've got. Do not ever listen to anybody. Don't take it to heart when they say you're not good enough. Okay, let me put it to you this way. Okay, I actually saw this happen. Now picture this. Okay, somebody took a white canvas. Now, this was an artist, okay? Takes an off-white canvas, just a standard painting canvas, painted it all off-white. The whole thing he painted off-white. Framed it with baseboard wood, okay, to make a frame. Called it Whiteout. And sold the painting for $1 million. Okay. Now, in your eyes, would that qualify as $1 million painting if I put wood around it? Okay. Take yellow and call it Sandstorm. Okay. Would you pay $1 million for something like that? From my standpoint, I'm like, okay, I am not the one to tell you whether or not you can be successful, whether or not you're a good enough writer, a good enough artist. I am the one to tell you, do not let anybody tell you that you cannot accomplish things. Okay. Now, I've mentioned before that I know people that have CP, okay, cerebral palsy, where they've only got one hand, okay, where the second hand doesn't work properly, okay, and yet they play the video games with only one on a regular controller. They play the video games complete with all the firing and all the adjustments with one hand. Okay, there is nothing you cannot do, or very little you cannot do. Yeah, no doubt. Isn't that the truth there, YJ? YJ goes, I wouldn't pay $1 million for that, but I can see how it'd be an easy way to launder money. I always found laundering money was easier if you just throw it in the washing machine and turn on a quick rinse. Of course, not a good idea, by the way. But no, I've watched these people do this. My mom went to school with a girl. My mom was one heck of a typist on an old-fashioned one-arm typewriter. The manuals, it's like tick, and mom would type at 80 words a minute. Okay. She had a classmate that typed at 120 words a minute, and frankly only had one physical hand. The other hand wasn't crippled, it was just missing at the wrist. So you set your mind to something, whatever it is, okay, and the odds are that you can make things happen. Wild. Hanks just said, I was on holiday in the Canary Islands and a meteor hit the ocean. That was mental. The shockwave was crazy. Absolutely. And this is the thing. To witness something like that is absolutely a remarkable feeling. Probably frightening as all get out. Okay. But definitely something to remember and to tell your kids about, and your grandkids, etc. Or if you don't have any, tell your friends and their kids. But there is so much incredible stuff going on, okay, that on this planet there is virtually nothing that is not possible. There's a lot I would not recommend, okay, but pick whatever goal you desire. The key to making your dreams a reality. Yeah. Hank is just saying, I didn't see it. We were hanging by the pool. Boom. Yeah, no doubt. You get something like that happen. When I used to live off the end of a runway, as in, like, the airbase was here, the runway ended at this point, and there was a tree line. My house was right on the other side of the tree line. Now, if you know anything about military fighter jets, okay, at the time, we were flying F-101s. Okay, we had 3 of them detonate over our roof. There is so much going on, and this is where the pictures that you see. Now, I'm no video analyst. Okay, I can take a look at a video. I won't be able to tell you if the video itself is real or if it was modified or what. I can tell you whether it represents something that is real that I've seen before. Okay, but when we start looking like, going back to the Swazian again, if you've ever seen a cigar-shaped UFO, okay, no windows, you're dealing with Pleiadian. Two lines of windows running the length of the ship, you're dealing with Swazian. Okay, when you're looking at, what is the third? There's three different types. There's a third one. Now, Tormnon, you got the Swazian. The Kamalian. If you see a cigar-shaped ship with only one bank of windows, that's a Kamalian cruiser. Okay. And, if you're looking for Tormnon, that depends on what ship they manage to grab hold of. Okay. And this information, again, I include that all. I get a kick out of it. I'll listen to some people that are saying, oh, I've got this. If you want answers, buy the book. You want answers, ask me. If you want answers permanently in your library, talk to me about buying the book. That's the best way I can put it. And you'll notice I go through my books myself. Okay. Hey, Philip, how you doing? Glad you could join us. Whatever you're aiming at. Okay, now, way back up at the top, and I think I should make notes periodically, But I think it was Kimberly that is starting to write a book. Okay. And I will tell you, two major factors involved here. One, get started on. Do not let anybody tell you can't make one. Okay. I am literally in the process of adjusting my own business, Inner Voice Enterprises, to put together, to actually go into the printing industry, into the printing, the publication side of it. The business is already set up to do that. Okay, I'm just making sure I understand the ins and outs of it. Will I tell you I'm going to market? Not in the least. I'll tell you, I'll put it on my website, but that's where it ends. Okay, the marketing, that's your job. But I talk to so many people that tell me, I wrote a book. Okay. I was going, what about a wall of windows? The UFO was the size of a football field. Let me ask you this. That particular ship, if it was the size of a football field, are we talking cigar-shaped or was it a different shape? Okay. Although I will tell you that it depends on what your answer is as to which one it is, because I will tell you there's something absolutely bizarre that I ran into that I will have an answer either way. But to tell you which one, I just need to. Here we are. Oh, they're an incredible experience. But I will tell you, it'll take your whole concept, twist it right outside the picture. Oh, not a problem there, Kimberly. I was just asking a little bit ago if you were still in the room. Did you say early on that you were that you've just started writing your own book? Okay. Yeah, as soon as I get an answer from that one there, Avi, I may well have, well, I know I've got an answer. It's just one or two possibilities. Oh, fantastic there, Kimberly. This message is directly for you and people like you. I've already got the company built to handle the publication side of it. Yeah, that ought to be an interesting read. I'm absolutely a tiny little company. Okay, as in I'm the only one. There's me and one other person working in it. But See, what I'm looking at, and this, I'm going to put it to you this way. This sounds like I'm plugging my own company, and in all fairness, that's only because I am. I'm going to be going into the publication side of it, but the one thing I'm not going to do is I won't take a look at your book and go, it's not big enough, it's not good enough, it's not long enough. That ain't the way that writing works. I'm not the one to tell you whether it's a bestseller. I'm the one to tell you that what I'm aiming for is books that fit into a wide variety. Okay, there are certain genres I won't touch. Okay, but I'm not going to tell you whether it's good, bad, or indifferent. Okay, you think of it. You take a look at the number of books that Stephen King has written. Personally, I don't like his writing. So, needless to say, personally, I don't buy his books. Okay. I am saying things up because what I've heard with a lot of authors is they ship their book off to a number of different, and the odds that I was given were you send your book off to 100 different publishers. If you get a response from 3 of them saying they don't desire your book, you get a response from 3. You did well. Okay, the one thing I will guarantee with books coming my direction is I'm not about to turn around. I've got to go and talk to a lawyer to make sure I get the paperwork in place right. But I'm looking at it. Where do we go here? Avi. Oh, like a pointed ice cream cone. Neat. Conic. Oh, I've got that document up. I just have to pull it up here. Ships. Conic, where are we? Planetoid, egg-shaped, saucer, double-tiered, rectangular, massive, winged wedge. Cone. Ah! Bingo! Avi. The Rocher. Okay. I ended up going through my notes, and I've got a whole list of different ships available that I can tell you what they are. And this is why I scanned down the list. The Rocher are a feline race. Real nasty in war. Okay. But their ships are cone-shaped. Okay. Depending on whether they're in atmosphere and whether they're moving in a hurry or just coasting, they may be, and I don't have a cone handy, so you'll have to deal with it. Okay. If they're just scanning, if they're just doing research, they'll travel along this way. If they're booking it, they'll flip sideways. The bottom is their engine. Okay. So, the bottom down here is their sensor pod. The top, the wider end, is the engine. And what they'll do if they've got a book is they'll turn this way and then book. As you can see, aerodynamically, they are phenomenal. Okay. But you were undoubtedly looking at a Rocher. Now, they've only come into the area in the last 15, 20 years. Okay. They are not here they are certainly not here from the standpoint of, they're not, well, I shouldn't say only the last 20 years. They returned about 20 years ago. Anybody here know of a god, of a former god, Egyptian god, by the name of Bast? Okay. Bast, as near as I've been able to piece together, was Rocher. Okay, as far as race went. Now, the funny thing about it is the Ennead they were the gods. That was the overall name of the group of gods, and it was an amalgamated group. Yeah, no doubt. That may be why you got a chance to see them. Okay, my secondary birthday is actually Leo. That's what I ended up with after walking out of the morgue. But yeah, the Rocher, they're really wonderful people. Okay, you do not want to get into a fight with these guys because they are nasty. Okay, fortunately, they're not interested in war. Okay. I missed something. And YJ says, that's the first time I ever heard Keith swear. I didn't realize I did. But, that's why I say I've got I'm putting this information together for people because there are so many. Where we got? Oh, Phil. Yeah, Phil just okay. See, when I'm looking the thing is with the races I'm looking at. Okay, with the races that I'm writing about, this is not because of research. This is because of life experience. Okay, whatever you're aiming at. Okay, when we look at the publications I'm going to be looking at. As a matter of fact, I should go and find a lawyer that I can do that with. So I will start checking on that this week. Don't need that. I require. Okay, this week. I'm not going to do it tomorrow because tomorrow's Sunday. I'm not phoning a lawyer on a Sunday. Okay, it's just not happening. But I will get a hold of a lawyer to make sure that I can start things moving. Because the one thing I really am hurt by is the number of people I've talked to that have turned around and said, they've turned around and said, I desire to get this book written. I would really like to get it in print. What I'm going to be doing with my company is turning around and taking those books, if I'm going to publish them at all. And I will tell you, don't bother sending me anything to do with adult entertainment. I won't touch it from a publication standpoint. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm not about to publish it. Okay. And so I don't go that route. I don't go the route of, I won't bother with true crime. Okay. So if you're writing about true crime, about adult entertainment, okay, about anything that refers to in practicality, in a practical standpoint, here's how to go about overturning a government, overturning a company. I'm not touching it. Okay. These are genres I won't touch. This has nothing to do with whether or not you're good. Okay. Or whether or not you maybe hang on to the next bestseller. Okay. And yes, in answer to that other question, I will be looking at it. Okay. I will be dealing with this on a global level as soon as I can figure out how to do it. I am not a marketer. This is provable by the fact I've got 7 books in print and I'm still not making money at it. This doesn't mean I won't put it on the market. Just means I'm not going to tell you I'm going to do a bunch of marketing. Okay. Well, let's get that shrunk down here. Yeah, Ancestry is a wonderful little thing. Whoop. Well, unfortunately, Lunar, we all have that little problem. Oh, good. Groceries away, and Lunar's just saying, still have chores before dark and rain. Hey, Nathan, glad you could join us. Thought you came in earlier, but if not, that's okay. I just have to pull something up here, guys. This is why I finally figured out, here we are. Now, this is Saturday. Nathan, are you not on tonight? Okay. If the answer is yes, what did I do there? Where are we? Paste. There is Nathan's show. Okay. You're on tonight, are you not, Nathan? If so, care to let us know what time? And I do believe, if I remember correctly, something caught my attention here earlier. not that. That. Could have sworn I had something else going on. Yeah, all sorts of interesting things going on. What do we got? Honestly, Kimberly, the best I can tell you is, frankly, give it a shot. The reality is, everybody has a story of what they've gone through. Okay. My personal recommendation, okay, before you ask, no, at this point, you can't bring people on here. Because frankly, my computer won't handle it, and I'm not gutsy enough, if you will, to try and add another program onto this thing. Okay. But I do suggest that you talk to somebody about it. Okay. Because somebody will want to hear it. There is no question there. Okay. Perfect. I do appreciate that, Nathan. So that link that I just put up for Nathan's channel, drop in, listen to what he has to say. Okay. If you like what he says, give him a thumbs up, and absolutely subsequently subscribe to his channel and share the daylights out of it. Okay. The reality is, it's going to be by working with each other that we change the way this world is going, in spite of whether or not the elites, the cabal, whatever religious group you want to give credit to running the world, doesn't matter. Okay. But yeah, the reality is, Kimberly, if you've got a story to tell, someone will desire to hear it. Okay, I have no doubt about that. We got to remember, there are better than 8 billion people on the planet, and somebody out there will be relating to what you've got to say. Okay, that's just the reality behind it. But everything that you're aiming at, that every one of you is aiming at, almost everything, is likely attainable. I caution you, there are many things I would not recommend you do. Okay, personally, I wouldn't recommend you skydive. But then I never found a good reason to get out of a perfectly good aircraft. Okay, I figure it'll come down and land eventually. And like I've told people, you desire me to go skydiving, no problem. You want me to get out of a perfectly good aircraft? If it's in trouble, put a parachute on my back, shove me out the door, and care to do me a favor and pull the cord at the same time, because the odds are I'm not going to be in much shape to do it. But other than that, I figure I rode a tornado. There's no reason to go up and get a rush out of jumping out of an aircraft. So I mean, all in all, we are looking at all kinds of things happening here. Well, that's just and that's just it, Philip. Philip's just going, especially if they can learn from our mistakes. That's something very helpful in biographies. Absolutely, it is. I've got a channeled autobiography that I wrote, and I call it channeled because I never actually knew what it said until 4 years after I wrote it. Okay, I haven't printed it. I haven't got it in print yet, but all that would take is my turning around, adding one page to it, and firing it off to the printer. Okay, that's all it would take. I just haven't done anything with it yet. Where are we here? Go back up here and we close that and go back to that. Yeah, Kimberly says, I've got chapters written to help people avoid certain things of paranormal. I have yet to find a way to avoid the paranormal things. It's like I was asked one day, well, do you go looking for this stuff? I'm like, no, they seem to know where I am. I get more ghosts wandering through my house than I care to count. And this is verified stuff going through my house. Well, you have a good one there, Shadow. Yeah, definitely got to get in gear. Yeah. See, Ouija boards are one of those things that are a really wonderful little issue. Okay, they're a great little tool if you know how to use them. Hey, Eric, glad you could join us. The world. Terry, welcome aboard. Glad you guys could make it in. Hope your day has been going well. I know if your day is anything like mine. Okay. If it's anything like mine, your day has been hectic as all get out. See, I'm a firm believer that whoever came out with the idea of selling a Ouija board as a toy is the same genius that would come out selling nitroglycerin as a party popper. Okay, not exactly the smartest move. What have we got here? I'm just looking back through some of this. I just noticed we're getting to an interesting point here. And as you can tell, my throat's starting to pack it in, which is why I only go the 2 hours. Okay, where are we here? Whoop, I need down there. Okay, now, guys, if you have enjoyed this stream, absolutely, if you haven't done so already, do me a favor and give me a thumbs up on it. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, definitely do so. Now, tomorrow, we're going to have an open field. In other words, come in with whatever questions you desire. Doesn't matter what topic. Okay, I'll be back in at 4:30 tomorrow. No, I lied. I'm a day off here. This is Wednesday. Thursday, I will not be in at all. But on Friday better be the 6th. Yeah, now I've got myself confused. Today's Saturday, tomorrow's Sunday. Okay, get to it. Talk about getting myself tied in and not time-wise. Okay. Yeah, it's incredible, YG. I'm really happy with it. Okay. Yeah, tomorrow is open. Tomorrow is Sunday. So, 4:30 tomorrow, I've got an open field. Whatever question you've got, doesn't matter what field, bring it in. Remember to put it in all caps. That way I can find the thing. That'll be from 4:30 to 6:30. At 7:30, I'll be coming back in to read a chunk out of the Yldrbac Chronicles and carry on what I've been doing the last couple of weeks. Okay. Absolutely. If you like the channel, do subscribe if you haven't. And please share it with everybody you know. If you don't like me and you desire to share my channel with people you don't like because you figure they're a pain in the neck or you figure they'll be unhappy, send them anyway. Okay, I'm pretty open-minded about it. That said, I will be back again tomorrow. And just a quick little note here. Tomorrow we're dealing with open. On Monday, we'll be dealing with the dark side of the moon. Tuesday, we'll be going to the link between the conscious and the unconscious. And then on Wednesday, we will be taking a look at enhancing your remote viewing capability and other psychic senses. Okay. Then we get back to Thursday. But with that in mind, okay, if you've got a topic, let me know and we'll do what we can. Philip, okay. I'm just looking at this. I'd be interested to know what common mistakes you've made and what you can teach us from those mistakes. Okay, that I can certainly deal with that tomorrow there, Philip. I'll be back in at 4:30. I'm just going to make a note for myself. personal miscalculations and what I dealt with. Okay, now, and that being said, I could keep going around in circles on this, but I'm going to bring this to a close. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and absolutely, I will be back tomorrow at 4:30. Until then, take care of yourselves and each other, and for pity's sakes, stay positive.